Wuthering Waves is getting compared to Genshin non-stop, and honestly, that makes sense. They share a lot. WuWa is an open-world gacha RPG which focuses on story and world exploration. Has stamina, gliders, different elements, and yeah, it kinda looks like Genshin cooler cousin. But once you get past the surface, it starts doing a lot of things differently. Look, I'm not saying WuWa is perfect, far from it, but at least for now, they just need to be better than Genshin. And I'm here to tell you if they already are or not. So first, let's talk about the story. I'm not gonna lie, Genshin has amazing lore, a lot more regions, hidden mysteries, and the world building is top tier. But the way it's delivered, absolute pain sometimes. You've got a 10-minute long conversation with an NPC about cabbage full of random filler, Paimon repeats stuff you already know around 3 times a minute, Traveler is mute 99% of the time, and there's so much fluff between actually interesting moments. Meanwhile, WoW lore is not as deep, it doesn't have as much or rich of a world, and I still enjoy it more. Why? Because the delivery is actually good. The pacing is tight, voice acting is on point, camera angles actually change, animations are solid, and there's barely any bloat. Even if the story isn't as massive, it's told in a way that makes you want to pay attention. That alone makes a huge difference. But there is a reason the way both games tell their story is so different. They have a different demographic. Genshin is made towards a younger audience, so they have to slow down the pace and keep explaining things so that they understand. And there is nothing wrong with that, but there is also nothing wrong in pointing it out. Visually, I'll give Genshin credit. It still looks really good, that cel-shaded style aged well. But let's be real, Wuthering Waves just looks better. The character models are of a higher quality, textures are sharper, animations are cleaner, effects are flashier, it feels more modern. Also, WuWa feels mature. It's still anime, but has a more serious tone, sharper lines, and a grittier vibe. And it's just not technical stuff. Genshin's style leans towards a super cutesy, almost chibi in some ways. It's designed to appeal to a younger audience, and it works. But if you were 16 when Genshin launched, you're 21 now. People grow up, and they are growing out of Genshin aesthetic. Let's not kid ourselves. WuWa's gacha system is copy-pasted from Genshin with some slight I'm better than you tweaks. Is it still bad? Absolutely. Do I still hate the fact that the characters and weapons have separate banners? Yes, but WuWa does just enough to feel better. No 50/50s on weapon banners, lower PT than Genshin, and on top of that, they just give you more pulls overall. It's still manipulative, it's still built to make you spend money, it's a gacha after all, we all know what we're getting into. But if I'm being honest, WoWa feels a lot more tolerable. Okay, this is probably the biggest one for me after the story. The combat. I'm not talking about abilities or elemental reactions here. Let's focus on what really matters and what we can compare. The enemies and bosses. In WoWa, even with a stacked team, if you play sloppy, you get punished. You have to dodge, you have to parry, and the bosses actually feel like a threat. In Genshin, it feels more like a damage check than anything. WoWa bosses actually feel like bosses. You have to time things, react and think. And that's what is fun and actually factually better than Genshin. As for everything else related to combat, it's personal preference. Exploration in WuWa is a breath of fresh air, even compared to non-gacha AAA games. Every character can double jump, every character can wall run, everyone gets a grappling hook. You can fly and you're not constantly burning stamina just for running. Compare that to Genshin where, how many movement tools are locked behind 5-star characters now? You want to sprint super fast? Locked. Want to fly fast? Locked. Climb faster and more easily? Also locked. Grappling hook? Pay up. Sure, Genshin added free options like those Natlan dinosaurs, but let's be honest, they suck. I used them twice and immediately went, yeah, I'd rather just pay for a character that does the same thing but better. Though I never did because I quit in 5.0. I actually thought Natlan would flop financially, but now that I think about it, it makes sense they made a lot of money since people were paying up just to make their miserable Natlan exploration experience a little better. WuWa just gives you the tools. No grind, no banner, just play the game and it's right there. Now, I'll say this. I like Genshin's artifact system. It's cleaner, it's easier to understand, at least for me, and you can use useless artifacts as fodder. WuWa's ecosystem, you can't use echoes as fodder, and it was a bit more confusing than Genshin to me at first. But they keep adding quality of life to that system, and it keeps getting better and better. Is it better than Genshin? It's questionable. But here's the thing. You can farm echoes forever. No resin, no daily limits. You want to grind for 10 hours straight? Go for it. And you don't have to wait until Thursday to farm a specific book. There's no crafting honest resin, you don't need an event just to crown a character, and WuWa just lets you click respawn on a boss to fight it again. Which is something Genshin adopted recently too, so credits to them. Now let's talk about the one thing every gacha game eventually struggles with: power creep. This will be a long section because there is a lot of ifs and buts. In Genshin, yeah, it's very obvious. We are talking about huge HP bars on new bosses, constant stat checks, and even movement creep. Now you've got characters who can sprint across water, scale walls super easily, but only if you pull the right banner. Exploring without premium characters generally feels painful in some regions. That said, there's one area where Genshin still wins: 4-star characters. A lot of Genshin's best 4 stars came from version 1.0, back when Hoyoverse didn't quite know how to balance them yet, and honestly, that worked out. Bennett is still top tier, Fischl still solid, Xiangling basically a free meta unit if you build her right. At least when I stopped playing. So yeah, power creep in Genshin is real, but if you're not chasing abyss clears or getting new temporary skins, bro, I can't even believe those skins are fucking temporary, you can play just fine using 4-star characters. Now let's flip it. WuWa's power creep is definitely starting to creep in. The latest WuWa mobs have double the HP, more elemental resistance, and while the average DPS across the roster hasn't skyrocketed, premium teams are clearly pulling ahead. And don't even get me started on Frolova's weapon situation. Losing a bit of damage when you skip a signature weapon is expected, but in her case you're losing basically half her kit. Her second best weapon doesn't even come close to her signature. And WuWa's 4 stars might as well not exist. They are not just underwhelming, they are functionally benchwarmers. Unless you really enjoy self-imposed difficulty, there's no reason to use most of them. Still, here's the silver lining. WuWa is not at Genshin levels of power creep yet, far from it. The 1.0 5 stars are still top tier, and even Xiang Liao, a character they literally gave out for free, is still sitting in the high ranks. And because WuWa's endgame challenges mostly don't have time pressure, you don't need massive damage to win, just clean execution. You can outplay content instead of just outstatting it. So yeah, the power creep is lurking, but at least for now it hasn't taken over the game. The community is being very vocal about it, so Kuro still has time to patch things out. But only time will tell. So yeah, Wuthering Waves isn't flawless. It's still a gacha, it's still got some clunky systems, and overall lore isn't as deep yet, even if the execution is better. If you're younger, I would still recommend Genshin. It's colorful, it's friendly, it's easy to pick up, and it doesn't punish mistakes too hard. The characters are bright and cutesy, the story is lighter even if it drags, and it's perfect if you just want to explore a fantasy world at your own pace without too much mechanical pressure. But if you're older, or if you've been playing Genshin since launch, you might start feeling like it's holding your hand a little too much. That's where WuWa comes in. It's faster, more technical, more stylish, and honestly, it expects more from you as a player. The tone is a bit darker, the world feels more mature, and the gameplay rewards skill instead of just raw stats. If you like Genshin more, that's fine. Some people also prefer the taste of cardboard too. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, like and subscribe if you made it this far, stay smart, and most importantly, stay critical. Have fun, bye bye.